If you say to people, do you think we should be sustainable? Very few will say no. Are both consumers and companies and perhaps even farmers willing to actually pay for it? Caroline.
I think this is a real challenge, and certainly we've seen some examples, and I'll pass this over to David shortly, because we have seen an opportunity of actually paying for sustainability and the benefits of paying for sustainability in the food chain. I think I'd like to take it at three levels. At a farmer level, actually, as Duncan has very aptly illustrated, sustainability doesn't necessarily cost more. It is about looking at the whole system. And actually, we have found more often than not, by looking through more sustainable farming practices, you are actually looking at better attention to detail, which then drives not only the economic benefits, but also impact in terms of looking after the environment and supporting that. When it comes to other places, we've been working now with Waitrose in particular for a very long time with leaf mark. And those farmers that have gone down the leaf mark route have actually found that by going down leaf mark, by adopting good farming practices, they've got an economically viable system, but actually they've got something that can add value to what their story is about. They're actually proud of delivering a more sustainable benefit. And that is, again, another level of attraction.
It's really tricky because I know what consumers pay for is great taste and great quality. What they expect, though, certainly from businesses, is actually you're doing the right thing, and that's always the challenge. So we've got to be transparent in our supply chains, demonstrate that what we're doing is actually true, so what we say we do is actually true. And that's all part of the brand makeup. I think certainly the sort of marketing research that you get is consumers aren't prepared actually to pay for it, but they expect companies such as myself, such as our company, to actually be doing it within their supply chains anyway.
So what I want to say about this is that the business case for sustainability and improving environmental performance is intensely interesting to us, but I don't think it lies fundamentally with the consumer. So there are reasons why a business should be sustainable. If you're a fresh produce producer in a part of the world where there isn't very much water, you need to know about the water governance in that area. If you don't, then in the long term, your business is at risk. So there are very good reasons, both in terms of the reasons that David's given, which is if companies are going there and you don't want to be a bottom feeder, you don't want to be taking the least price. If you want to be a supplier to a premium goods manufacturer, then you're going to need to be able to step up and demonstrate your performance in the kinds of ways that these leaf measurements indicate. But there are other reasons too, and they're to do with the fundamental sustainability, like Duncan with his soils, like water, the fundamental things that farming depends on, and if those aren't well managed, then there isn't a business there in the long term. Thanks.
I don't think sustainability is a consumer choice. It's up to all of us here to make sure we do it. And it shouldn't be seen as a middle-class aspirational thing. It should be at all levels. What we're doing on our farm, the sustainability, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how huggy-kitty environmentally I am. If it doesn't make me money, the reality is I'm not going to do it. And when you look at the other end, you know, recently, 8 burgers for £1, that's not sustainable. Whereas if you give the consumer the choice that they can have 8 burgers for £1, obviously there's going to be people out there that are going to buy them, but it's not sustainable through the food chain. So it's not a choice, but it is certainly something we all need to aim for.